Aurora Little League Baseball action brought to you throughout the season here on WFVR by Young Gents, Aurora National Bank, Miller's Locksmith, Sunset Auto Parts, McDonald's, Valley Floor Covering Service, The Twirly Top, Electric Home, Fox Valley Center, First American Bank, Scotty Muffler, and Travel and Transport. And warming up on the mound for Steelworkers, we have Rod Davis. He's getting the starting nod for the Steelworkers, and he'll be opposed by Steve Moga, who will do the hurling for Tony's Tacos. As we mentioned, the Steelworkers with a 13-6 record, winning the national division of the minor league, and Tony's Tacos with a better record, but the records don't matter. Once you reach the playoffs, it's one game at a time. 15-3 is Tony's Tacos record over the season. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, first of all, for the visiting team, Tony's Tacos. They're talking with the umpire just below us. Both coaches are. Pat Corrigan will lead off and play left field. Tim Orland in center field. Ron Miller at second base. Tim Van Fleet batting cleanup and playing shortstop. The right fielder, Bobby Collins, hitting fifth. Batting sixth, the catcher, Mark Pushbacher. He'll be followed by Steve Moga, John Cisneros at first base, and Jeff Ginther at third base. The starting nine for Tony's Tacos. The other players, who all have to see action, of course, according to Little League rules, will be Keith Foster, Ken Whedon, Joe Panucci, Steve Parker, and Dave Siranowski. For the Steelworkers, Jose Delgado will lead off, be followed by center fielder Craig Martin, and the pitcher Rod Davis batting cleanup, third baseman Harold Hall, the catcher Bill Zimmerman, Bill Harvey at first base, John Germain at right field, Jeff Dennert in left field, and Richard Swan is their other starter. So that's a look at the starting lineup for Steelworkers, and we're set to go now. Last warm-up pitch thrown in there by Rod Davis, and Pat Corrigan ready to step in. Little right-handed batter for Tony's Tacos. Got a little problem with third base now, so we'll have a momentary delay here while they toss it around the infield, tying third base down. Have a sparse crowd so far here at Lanfret Field for this opening playoff game. I'm sure a lot of the parents and fans are just getting off work, however, and we'll try to make it out here. The major playoff game coming up right after this one, Anderson Realty against Aurora National Bank. We're looking forward to some great ball games over the weekend, beginning with this one right here. Corrigan now steps in. Third base is all tied down. And Rod Davis set to throw the first pitch of the 76 playoffs. It's a swing and a miss. Strike one on Pat Corrigan as he came up there swinging one after the first pitch. Outfield playing him very deep for the minor leaguers. Next pitch is outside. The count is a ball and a strike. Left field and center fielder, and the right fielder for that matter, all playing deep here for the leadoff hitter Corrigan. Next pitch looked like he went after an outside one and missed it. And Davis goes way ahead of the hitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rod Davis, a right-hander on the mound for Tony's Tacos. Fires, make that for Steelworkers. There's a ball hit down the first baseline. It's called fair ball just inside the bag. He's going to try for 2. And the right fielder holds on to the ball, and he goes in with a double. Pat Corrigan for Tony's Tacos hit a ground ball kind of off the end of the bat, and just between the first baseman and the first base bag, and it went into short right field for a double. Ben Harvey for the Steelworkers just couldn't flag it down. Then the right fielder was kind of lackadaisical out there. John Germain held onto the ball, and Corrigan took advantage of that, went into second with a leadoff double. Here's Tim Orland, the center fielder, pops it to short center field. The second baseman is there. He can't handle it. Bounces behind him, and going into third base is Corrigan. It's safe over at first base. But a pop single, I guess, is Tim Orland. The second baseman was under it, but misjudged it, and it landed past him for a Texas League single for Tim Orland. So right off the bat here, Tony's Tacos with a big threat. Orland out at first, Corrigan over at third base, nobody out, and the heart of their lineup coming up. First second baseman Ron Miller, the number 1 on the back of his blue shirt. Left-handed hitter takes one on the outside corner from Davis. Strike 1. Look for Orland probably to be running here, and doubtful that they'd make a play on him. Outfield playing still deep and straight away for the left-handed hitter. Davis in a jam. He fires. It's on the corner again. Strike 2 called. So Davis way ahead of Ron Miller now, trying to pitch out of this jam.
Not to take anything away from Corrigan or Orland, Keith, but the fielding could have prevented both of those hits.
Here's when it gets past the catcher. The runner advances to second base. Other runner holds at third. Didn't get that far away from the catcher to try to score from third, but it did allow Orland to go into second base without a play. So we'll call that a pass ball, I think, on the catcher. Here's the pitch now to Miller. It's outside. And the count is 2-2. Full count, rather. 3-2 on Ron Miller. Got the one light out on the scoreboard. There's the pitch. It's pop foul right behind the plate. Should have had our net for that one. Of course, the backstop really blocks us out here. Count remains 3-2 on the second baseman, Ron Miller. Steps back in now as Davis gets the sign from Bill Zimmerman behind the plate. There's one tapped to the first baseman. He's got it. Throws home. Here's the tag. He is out at home. Here's a throw down to second base now. He's safe. The other runner comes home from third. So there's the kind of play that you only see in Little League action. A ground ball to the first baseman. Instead of running over and touching first for the out, he caught the runner coming home, Pat Corrigan, who was out easily at home. Then Ron Miller tried to make it to second base. He did, to throw down to second. And while that throw was going on, Tim Orland came in from third base with the first run of the game. So Miller is now on at second base with a fielder's choice. There's one out. Corrigan was shot down at the plate, but Orland scored. There's one that gets away from the catcher. Runner going to third, and the catcher, Zimmerman, can't pick up the ball. Goes another pass ball. Is there a swing and a miss by the cleanup hitter, Tim Van Fleet. They had a shot at him. Zimmerman could not come up with the ball, however. And now the coach come over to talk with his hitter, Tim Van Fleet. A possible bunting situation. Might want to squeeze one in here, as Tony's Tacos has jumped ahead 1-0 here in the top of the first inning. Ron Miller now over at third base. One strike to count on Van Fleet. He takes one right in there. Strike 2 from Rod Davis. Tony's Tacos trying to get a big jump here in the first inning. There, he waved. It went over his head, and Van Fleet strikes out for the second out. That leaves it up to Bobby Collins now for Tony's Tacos. Another right-handed hitter. The right fielder wearing number 13. Going back to the dugout there. He had the wrong bat. Now Bobby comes jogging up to the plate while doing a little stretching exercise. Checks down for a sign from the coach. Situation, runner at third, 2 men down, and a run in here in the top of the first for Tony's Tacos. In the first minor league playoff game, he goes after one high and inside. Collins, like Van Fleet ahead of him, a little bit too anxious here in the first inning. Strike 1 count on Collins. Davis fires. It's in there, I believe, maybe a little bit low, but the indication was low by the umpire. And the count is a ball and a strike. Saw that right arm come up, but he actually was pointing that it was low. 1-1 count. That one again is low. Throw it over to third base, a dangerous play, and the runner's back in time. That ball, of course, could go into left field pretty easy and allow another run to score, but it was a good throw from Zimmerman, but too late. Next pitch, it's outside. Another throw to third base, a wild throw, but the third baseman stabbed it. And the count is now 3-1 on Bobby Collins. After going after a high pitch, he's taken 3 in a row outside the strike zone. Davis fires. That misses for ball 4, and Collins is on at first. Brings up the catcher, number 10, Mark Bushbacher, for Tony's Tacos, the American Division champions in the minor Little League action this year with a fine 15-3 record. Need to win this one to move into the championship game on Sunday. Bushbacher, another right-handed hitter. We'll see if Collins runs off of first base. And if he does, if they make a play on him. Miller, of course, still perched over at third. Pitch misses inside and below the knees for ball 1 to Bushbacher. Rod Davis on the mound has given up 2 hits so far in the inning and 1 run. There's a swing and a miss on a pitch right in there. And the count's even, ball 1 and strike 1 on Mark Bushbacher. Davis working quickly. He fires. Strike 2 called. Caught the inside corner. Kind of a delayed call that time, but it was in there. 1-2 count now. Davis winds. He fires. Strike 3. He got him, and he really got out of a jam pretty well. Only giving up 1 run after a leadoff double and a succeeding single for Tony's Tacos in the first. 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and they leave a couple men on base at the end of 1/2 inning of play. Tony's Tacos 1, Steelworkers coming to bat.
Not every baseball game turns out the way you want it to, and not everybody banks at Aurora National Bank, and they don't expect them to. But when it comes to new car financing, they wish you would consider Aurora National Bank, because Aurora National Bank offers direct financing with low annual percentage interest rates. That means you may save the equivalent of 1 monthly payment on your new car loan. Interested? Then phone or stop in and see one of Aurora National Bank's installment loan officers before you sign any papers for your next new car. Compare the savings. That's Aurora National Bank. Aurora's Progressive Bank, Broadway at East Galena downtown, a booster of boys baseball in Aurora, and member FDIC.
Steelworkers now coming up here in the bottom of the first inning with Jose Delgado leading off. The shortstop. We've got some statistics on the Steelworkers team. Delgado hitting a cool .550 for the Steelworkers. Trying to fix the antenna a little bit here. If you're getting static, we're trying to do something about it. Steve Moga throwing in his warm-up pitches there to catcher Mark Buschbacher. We don't have our van today, so we've had to put our antenna on top of the press box, which might be causing the static. Jose Delgado now to lead it off for Steelworkers. His team down by a run as they come up for the first time. Steelworkers won the flip of the coin and are the home team in this game. Pitch, it's fouled right off the catcher's mask. Strike one on Delgado. So both batters, leadoff hitters for these teams, went after that first pitch. Sign that both these teams are ready. Moga, right-hander in the windup. There's one pop foul. Goes way ahead of Delgado now, 2 strikes. Delgado has 33 hits and 60 at-bats for the season, including 11 doubles and 2 triples. Hasn't hit a home run yet this season. 0-2 count on Delgado. Outfield playing him straight away. Moga winds, he fires, there's a ground ball to the third baseman, past him, and it takes a high hop over the shortstop into left field for a base hit for Jose Delgado. Third baseman, the only one who could have made the play, and it bounced over his shoulder and past the shortstop. Ginther couldn't flag it down, and it goes for a hit for Delgado. So both leadoff men do their job, getting on base with hits. Corrigan doubled for Tony's Tacos. Now a single for Delgado. First pitch to center fielder Craig Martin is in there for strike one. Martin with a .219 batting average on the season. Tries to bunt that one, fouls it at the plate. Strike two on Craig Martin. On deck is Rod Davis. .0-2 count. 0-2 count here on Craig Martin. Won't be bunting now. Very unlikely with 2 strikes. Takes it, just missed, gets past the catcher, and going into second base is Jose Delgado. Go charge a pass ball on that one. It was a little bit low and bounced away from catcher Buschbacher, and into scoring position now goes Delgado. Delgado has 26 stolen bases on the season, so he's got good speed out there at second base. 2-2 count now on Martin. Outfield looks like it's come in a little bit here for Martin. It's the pitch. It's high for ball 3, a full count now. Moga in the windup, full count pitch. It's a little bit low. And I guess the scoreboard was off there as the count is now full at 3-2. 3-2 count. And strike 3 is called. Bluff off second base by Delgado, but he goes back. And the batter is retired via the strikeout route. Craig Martin. Here comes their top hitter, Rod Davis, with, would you believe, an .849 batting average, including 10 home runs out of his 45 hits in 53 at-bats. He's had 45 hits, 19 doubles, 8 triples, 10 homers. That's 37 extra base hits and 45 times that he's had hits, and 37 extra base hits and just 53 times at bats. So
What you might call a power hitter.
might say he's a little dangerous. Rod Davis, the pitcher, way outside ball 1. And you can bet they're going to be careful with him with first base open here, and Delgado on second with 1 man down. Next pitch, line drive right to the pitcher. Moga makes the catch for the out. Davis hit it right on the nose, but right at Steve Moga, who stabbed it. And in fact, that was hit so hard, Delgado didn't have a chance to get off at second base, so there was no chance to double him up. So there's 2 men down now. Harold Hall, the third baseman, coming up, another pretty fair hitter. He's hitting at .532 on the season. Takes it outside, ball 1 to Harold Hall for the Steelworkers, who trailed here in the first inning to Tony's Tacos 1-0. There's one. He swings a little bit late, and the count is a ball and a strike on Hall, with catcher Bill Zimmerman on deck. These first 5 of these first 6 hitters for Steelworkers are hitting well over 500. 2 men out now. After Delgado singled and reached second on a pass ball, Martin struck out, and then a line drive out, ground ball right up the middle, off the second baseman's glove. He makes the stop. Here comes the throw home. Going to be close. The tag. He didn't get him. He missed the tag at home. A base hit by Hall up the middle, but a fine stop by the second baseman. Looked like might keep him from scoring. Miller's throw to the plate looked like it was in time, a little bit off the mark. The catcher had to reach back. Mark Bushbacher had to reach back, and he couldn't quite make the tag on the speedy Jose Delgado, who scored the run to tie up the ball game. So Hall gets the hit and the RBI, and it's 1-1 with Bill Zimmerman coming up now, the Steelworkers catcher with a hefty .618 average. Delgado hesitated a little bit at third base that time, and looked like it gave Miller enough time to make the play at home, but the throw by the catch by the catcher, he had to reach back for the tag, and he didn't get Delgado, who slid under the tag to tie it up. There's one pop foul, a good swing that time by Zimmerman. He's had 1 home run out of the season and leads this team in RBIs. He actually has more RBIs than Davis even. Of course, he's been batting behind Davis and Hall with 43 RBIs in only 19 games. Swing and a miss. Went after low, and there goes the runner. And the catcher couldn't come up with it. Goes another pass ball, as the catcher just could not come up with it. Did not make the play down to second base. 2-strike count now on Zimmerman, as Hall is in scoring position at second. Hall, another right-handed hitter here for Steelworkers. There's a line drive to short center field. The center fielder coming in. He's got it to retire the side. At the end of 1, it's tied up. Steelworkers 1, Tony's Tacos 1.
Is your home ready for your vacation? Be sure your valuables are safe while you're away. And the best way to protect your home is with deadbolt door locks from Miller's Locksmith, 722 Grand Avenue in Aurora. Deadbolt locks are the locks recommended by the Aurora Police Department. Fight crime here in your city and at the same time protect your home. Call Miller's Locksmith at 897-2395. That's 897-2395, and get a free estimate and see how little it will cost you to have peace of mind on your vacation this year. Miller's Locksmith, 722 Grand in Aurora.
Hard to find import auto parts are no longer hard to find. Sunset Auto Parts has them. At Sunset Auto Parts, 1004 Claim Street in Aurora, parts for import cars aren't a sideline, but the main line. Sunset Auto Parts has shocks, brakes, disc brakes, water pumps, fuel pumps, starters, generators, filters, tune-up kits, or whatever it is that you need for your foreign car. You'll find it all for import cars at Sunset Auto Parts, and at a price that you can live with. Sunset Auto Parts, 1004 Claim Street at Ohio in Aurora.
And we move now to the second inning. We're all tied up at 1 apiece in an exciting first inning, and that's the kind of action we expect right throughout the playoffs. Our first of 6 games coming up here this weekend on WFVR in the Little League playoffs, and on Sunday the championship games. Our next game coming up right after this one will be the first major playoff game, Anderson Realty going against Aurora National Bank. Pitcher Steve Moga has started off now for Tony's Tacos here in the second inning. Both teams came up with a run and 2 hits in the opening inning. That's Rod Davis on the mound for Tony's Tacos. Pitch, ground ball to the third baseman on a high hop. Going to be a tough play. Throws it high over the first baseman's head, and Moga going into second base. He rounds second. He's going to go into third. He might come all the way across. Goes into third easily. He's going to try to score. Here comes a throw to the plate. Too late. Moga scoring on an error on the third baseman out of the throw. Came all the way around on the error by the third baseman. It looked like the throw was in time to get him, but it went over the first baseman's head, way over his head. Harvey never had a chance to catch that one, and Moga came all the way around. Usually you expect 1 base advance and maybe a couple bases at the most, but Moga never slowed up, and good heads-up coaching brought him all the way around, just did beat the throw. Here comes John Cisneros, the first baseman for Tony's Tacos, who have regained the lead 2-1 with some daring base running, and, of course, that error opened the gates. Error on the third baseman, Harold Hall, for Steelworkers. So they've had a couple of defensive lapses here that have allowed Tony's Tacos to score their runs. There's a strike call to Cisneros. Ball 1 and strike 1. Davis winds, he fires, swings at an outside pitch and misses. 1-2 count now on John. On deck, the third baseman, Jeff Ginther, for Tony's Tacos. Pitch, swing and a miss. Let up a little bit on that pitch, and Cisneros is way in front of it. Third strikeout so far for Rod Davis.
Tony's Tacos, number 11, the third baseman, Jeff Ginther.
Jeff Ginther coming up. Ginther wearing number 11 and the ninth hitter in the Tony's Tacos lineup. Of course, all the players must get into the ball game and play at least one inning defensively and bat at least once. Swing and a miss, one strike on Ginther. Wind up, pitch, it's fouled off to the right, out of play. And Davis goes way ahead of the batter, 2 strikes. On deck, we have a pinch hitter coming up. 2 strikes the count on Jeff Ginther. Pitch, strike 3 called. Second strikeout in a row now for Davis. And so far in the game, his 4th strikeout in an inning and 2/3.
Batter number 4, the left fielder, Dave Cisneros.
Dave Cisneros, number 4, now coming up for Tony's Tacos for the first time. Batting for Pat Corrigan, who doubled to lead off the ball game and was thrown out at home on a ground ball to the first baseman. There's one in there for strike 2 call. Davis bearing down now. Apparently decided to take things in his own hands after that error that started out this inning. He struck out the side, got Cisneros on 3 pitches. In the second inning, 1 run, no hits, 1 error, nobody left on base at the end of an inning and a half. Tony's Tacos 2, Steelworkers 1.
Where's a good place for beef?
How about McDonald's?
You funning me?
No, come on.
You're the one. Our quality's so high for.
At McDonald's, your hamburger is made from 100% pure beef, leaner than the ground beef most people buy. Still, it all comes down to your first bite.
Well, what do you think? Good beef. This really tastes good. At McDonald's, we do it all for you.
I'd like to remind
And we move now to the bottom of the second inning, still working on our antenna there. That's where we were, talking with Dave about that, trying to clear up the
the Gaslight Manor.
problem so that we can bring you a clear broadcast here during the playoffs. We'll have our van back tomorrow, which should rectify the situation to a great deal. Steelworkers coming up here in the second inning with Ben Harvey, the first baseman, to start things off with a .500 batting average on the season, 16 hits in 32 at-bats. Mostly singles. He's had a couple doubles and 1 triple amongst those 16 hits. Tony's Tacos scoring a run at each inning leads 2-1, so we've had each team score 1 run each trip to the plate. Ben Harvey, left-handed batter, takes the first pitch from Steve Moga outside for ball 1. Take the rules governing the pitchers in the playoffs. You can pitch a total of 6 innings in the 2 games. Ground ball to third baseman, off his leg to the shortstop, who tries to make the play, but it's too late to first base. And we'll give Harvey a base hit on that hot ground ball to the third baseman. So Harvey is on to start the second for Steelworkers. And John Germain coming up, the right fielder, hitting at .384. As we mentioned, they've got some great batting averages on the Steelworkers team. They were nice enough to give us the stats on that team. Coaches Gary Williams and Don Williams. Another right-handed batter now as he jumps around. Germain coming up, grounds one. Moga's got it on a big hop, throws to second for the force out there. No chance for the play back to first. Nice play by Moga. Going over almost in front of the shortstop to stab that one and made the play to second for the fielder's choice. Germain now over at first base after the force out. And Jeff Dennert, the left fielder, coming up, number 7 for the Steelworkers, the National Division champions. Strike call right in there by Moga. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Dennert. Next pitch is taken just a little bit outside. Germain over at first base, 1 man down for the Steelworkers, trailing Tony's Tacos 2-1. It's a beautiful evening, nice breeze keeping us cooled off. And so far, no threat of showers here this Friday evening, despite what the weatherman has said. Moga in the windup pitch, way inside, just ducking out of the way was Dennert. Looked like that one might catch him, but he hit the dirt. Moga winds, working quickly, fires, swing and a miss. Dennert strikes out, the second strikeout recorded by Moga. And that brings up the ninth man in their order. Richard Swan is the scheduled hitter here. Getting his batting helmet on, and he's got his batting glove on.
Second baseman, Rich Swan.
Rich Swan, the second baseman, takes the pitch for a ball. Still got Jermaine over at first base with 2 men down, one right in there, taken for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Richard Swan with a 105 batting average on the regular season. There's one high and inside. 2 balls and a strike. So far, Moga has walked nobody and struck out a pair. Winds, fires. That one is in there on the inside corner. 2-2 count by Swan, who's looked at all the pitches he's seen so far. Hasn't moved that bat off his shoulder. 2-2 pitch. He went after that one and missed it. Striking out to end the second for Steelworkers with no runs on 1 hit and the man left on base. At the end of 2, it's Steelworkers trailing Tony's Tacos 2-1.
Take the work out of shopping.
Young Gents announces its summer clearance sale. Starting today, miscellaneous items are marked down 1/3 or more. Don't miss the biggest savings in the history of Young Gents. Featured items include winter pajamas and shirts. There are over 1,600 shirts to choose from at Young Gents. You don't need to stop there. There's a full line of bib overalls and famous name slacks, both dress and play. Enjoy one-stop shopping. If you need boy sizes 4 to prep, Young Gents is the store to look for. A store designed with boys in mind. Young Gents in the Indian Trail Shopping Center, next to Juvenile Junction.
Ladies, why wax your old kitchen floor today when Valley Floor Covering, 419 South Lake Street, could be installing a new no-wax Solarian floor in your kitchen instead? The shining secret of Solarian is a special Mirabond wear surface that keeps its high gloss without waxing far longer than an ordinary vinyl floor. And the cleaner you keep Solarian, the brighter it shines. Sun brighten your kitchen today the no-wax Solarian way. Stop in and select your colorful Solarian floor and get a free estimate at Valley Floor Covering, 419 South Lake Street in Aurora.
2-1 our score. Tony's Tacos leading the Steelworkers in our first of 6 playoff games coming to you this weekend here on WFVR. Now with the next couple of innings of action, here's Dave Sabini.
Thank you, Keith. We have a substitute right off the bat. Number 7, Joe Panucci is in, batting for Tim Orland. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Davis, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and he fans again. 0-2 is the count now on Tim Orland. 0-2 pitch, way outside and high, ball 1, strike 2 now to Joe Panucci. Joe wearing number 7 on his back. I guess he'll go in and play center field next inning. Here's a 1-2 pitch, a little low and outside, ball 2, strike 2. Panucci evening the count after swinging and missing at the first 2 pitches. Here's a 2-2 pitch outside. It's a full count now, 3-2 now to Joe Panucci. Steelworker pitcher Rod Davis can hardly believe it. Here's a full count pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the 5th strikeout recorded by Davis. Rod Davis, the pitcher for Steelworkers. Next batter up is Ron Miller. Ron's playing second base, wearing number 1 on his back. Ron reached second, last inning, in the first inning, last time at bat on a fielder's choice. He bunts. Davis has the ball to throw to first in time. So Miller goes out on an attempted bunt. That's 2 down here in the top of the 3rd.
Stopped his strikeout string at 4 in a row with that good bunt.
Tim Van Fleet, the shortstop, is up. He was the first strikeout victim of Davis back in the first inning. Here's the first pitch, lines it foul down the third base line. A good cut. He got around on it a little too soon, though. And that one went all the way to the fence. A good line slash grounder, but it was just foul. So the count's 0-1 now to Tim Van Fleet, Tony's Taco shortstop. Tim wearing number 9 on his back. Here's the pitch, outside, ball 1, strike 1. I noticed, Keith, that the stands are filling up a little bit more steadily now, as I guess the parents and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and everybody's getting out of work now, and several of them have radios with them. And one person I saw even has a pair of those headphone radios. There's a tap down to the second baseman. Oh, it takes a high bounce over his head, going all the way to the fences. The right fielder blows it, and he's into second. He's into second base. We'll have to give him a single and second on an error. So, first hit in the third inning for Tony's Tacos is recorded by Tim Van Fleet. Next batter due up is Bobby Collins, the right fielder. Collins walked his first time at bat back in the first inning. We apologize again for the static that you're hearing. It's mechanical difficulties that we seem to be unable to correct, but we will keep trying. Okay, Collins stepped to the plate with 2 dead and a man on second. Collins, the right fielder, checking the third base coach for a sign. Bill Zimmerman, the catcher for Steelworkers, is having a little trouble with his mask. Asks the umpire for a little help. Takes off his hat instead now. It always works better that way. The umpire is being the caretaker for the hat, I guess. Okay, we're all set now. Bobby Collins at bat now with 2 out here in the top of the third for Tony's Tacos and a runner on second. Here's the first pitch. Swung on tap to the right side of the mound. Davis with a long throw to first in time to get the runner. Collins is out. So in the inning for Tony's Tacos, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. A score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Tony's Tacos 2, Steelworkers 1.
The folks at Aurora National Bank know a lot of mothers of Little Leaguers are listening right now, and they have a special message just for you. During these hurry-up, chase here and there, hectic days of summer, your best bet is to do your banking early in the day. Aurora National Bank's Early Bird drive-up windows open at 7 a.m. every weekday morning. That's a special convenience for busy mothers who do the family banking. So bank early in the day and get it out of the way. You'll have more free time to watch your sons play, and daughters too. That's Aurora National Bank, Broadway at Galena Downtown, member FDIC.
Jose Delgado is the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the third inning for the Steelworkers. Jose reached first on a single and second on a pass ball and eventually came around to score the only run for Steelworkers so far back in the first inning. The Steelworkers so far 1 run on 3 hits. For Tony's Tacos, 2 runs on 4 hits. Pitcher for Tony's Tacos is, of course, Steve Moga. His battery mate, Mark Bushbacher. Jose is the shortstop for Steelworkers. The ump just finishes dusting off the plate. I'm glad to see the stands filling up because the teams came a long way to get here into the playoffs. The wind's blowing across the outfield from right to center. Here's the first pitch. Ground, good base hit right past the shortstop. Delgado pulls into first base with his second hit of the day. So Delgado, the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the third inning, reaches first. That's his second hit. He could do nothing but improve his .550 batting average. Oh, that one looked like it hit him. Delgado's running for second. He's in there as the throw was short from the catcher. What happened was Craig Martin, the center fielder who is up now,
I don't know how that pitch missed him.
I don't know. He weathered. I thought it might have hit him, Keith, actually. It was inside. The catcher couldn't get a hold of the ball. Delgado took off for second, and the catcher recovered in time to make a throw, but it was short. So Delgado was on second base with, I would say, probably a wild pitch.
Right.
Okay, so Craig Martin has a 1-0 count on him now. Craig struck out back in the first inning. He was the first strikeout victim of Tony's Tacos pitcher, Steve Moga. Here's a 1-0 pitch now to Martin. Strike is in there. The runner's breaking for third. No play on him at all. They don't want to risk giving it away. That goes as a stolen base for Jose Delgado. Okay, now Jose Delgado is on third base. A 1-1 count now on Craig Martin. Ball 2 comes in high. 2-1 now on Craig Martin. Delgado led off the inning with a single. took second on a wild pitch, swing and a miss in the meantime by Craig Martin, evens the count at 2-2. And then he stole third base, so Delgado's on third with nobody out. The count is now full as ball 3 comes in low and outside. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Strike 3 called. He looked at it. It just crossed the outside corner. And that's the 4th strikeout, if I'm not mistaken, Keith, recorded by Steve Moga.
You had to get that, man. They got the big hitters coming up now.
Rod Davis, in fact, is up. He lined out to the pitcher last time at bat, but Davis is batting a meaty .849. He squares off the bunt. It goes to Moga. The play is going to be to first. And the throw was high, but a nice play by the first baseman for Tony's Tacos. That's John Cisneros. Recovered it and made the tag at first base. And I'm not sure what happened, Keith. Apparently the play is being called back. Delgado was being forced to go back to third base. I don't know what the ruling is. Did you see anything that I did?
I don't understand the ruling on that.
He left the bag too early.
Came in like a suicide bunt, and he can't leave the bag that early.
Right. So Davis...
so that takes away a sacrifice.
That's right. Here's a tap to the first baseman. The play is going to be at first. He reaches the bag first, and that's the third out. So, in the inning for the Steelworkers, no runs, surprisingly enough, on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So the score at the end of 3 full innings of play. Tony's Tacos 2, Steelworkers 1.
Look for the Twirly Top sign on the outside, and you'll know you'll find the best in refreshments inside at the Twirly Top, at the corner of Jackson and North Avenue in Aurora. The Twirly Top uses only the finest soft serve ice cream in their cones, sundaes, and banana splits. That isn't all you'll find at the Twirly Top this summer. In fact, no matter what refreshment you crave, you can satisfy that craving at the Twirly Top. So stop by soon. Bring the whole family. It's a real treat to treat yourself at the Twirly Top, the corner of Jackson and North Avenue in Aurora.
Mark Bushbacher, the Tony's Tacos catcher, is the leadoff hitter. This in the top of the 4th inning. He struck out the last time at bat, way back in the 1st inning.
First batter for
Tony's Tacos leading the Steelworkers by a score of 2-1. Tony's Tacos came into the playoffs with a 15-3 record. Steelworkers with a 13-6 record. Both quite respectable. Needless to say, it's a long season here. And Tony's Tacos did have a few makeup games, I know, last week. So the schedule has been full. There's been no rest. Their practice has been in makeup games. Okay, so here's Mark Bushbacher, the catcher for Tony's Tacos, coming up to bat. Steve Moga is going to follow him, and John Cisneros, the first baseman, will follow Moga. Okay, Davis is ready. Here's the first pitch to Bushbacher. Swung on to the right of the mound. The second baseman has it. Shortstop has it. Long throw to first, and he's got his man on a good play.
Good play by Delgado.
Delgado made a beautiful pickup of that hot grounder, and the long throw to first base successfully for the first out of the inning. Steve Moga, the pitcher, is up now. Steve scored on an error last time at bat in the 2nd inning. Here's a ground ball between short and third. Delgado got a glove on it, but it was too hot to handle, and it leaks through to left field for, I guess, a hit, Keith.
Too hot to handle.
It was a line shot, and the third baseman and the shortstop were both there. Delgado and Hall were both there, Keith, but neither could get a glove on it. Cisneros is up. That one's high and outside for ball 1. 1 out, 1 on here in the top of the 4th inning for Tony's Tacos. Cisneros struck out last time at bat in the 2nd inning. Ball 2 comes in low and outside. Moga heckling the catcher over on first base. We saw him in the All-Star game, Keith, and whenever he got on base then, he did much the same thing. He's a good runner. He's trying to draw that throw, cause a mistake, and advance freebie. 2-0 pitch comes in for a strike on the outside corner by the knees. So Davis finally found the mark he was looking for in the low outside corner, and the count is 2-1. And John Cisneros, the first baseman for Tony's Tacos. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Tap. Just fair. It hits the bag. First base. And the runner's going to be safe all the way around. Runners on first and second now. 1 out here for Tony's Tacos in the top of the 4th inning. Well, it's if it happened in the pros, Keith, it would be called a well-placed hit. But it was a medium speed grounder that just hit the bag and it bounced. It caromed off towards second base, and the first baseman had to recover it. There was nobody on first base, of course, to cover the runner coming over.
I think it was probably a break for the Steelworkers. I don't think the first baseman would have got to it. It would have gone into short right field, and the base runner would have gone to third instead of having to hold up at second.
Well, in any event, Keith, we'll have to score that one as a single for John Cisneros. There's now runners on first and second. Moga on second, Cisneros on first, and a conference on the mound.
Looks like Keith Foster's coming up here to hit for the first time. Number 5.
Keith Foster batting for Jeff Ginther.
Other changes in the Tony's Tacos lineup.
Foster during the regular season.
Is now playing right field, batting in the first position.
We don't have Tony's Taco statistics.
To center field, batting in the second position. And Bobby Collins moves from center to left field.
A few changes being made that we'll get to you as soon as we can get them straight. Here's the first pitch to Foster. He attempted a bunt and missed, strike one.
I tell you, I think he should have been called out on that. He stepped way in front of the plate, which you can't do when you're bunting. Stepped way right in front of the plate, but the ump didn't catch it.
0-1's now the count to Foster with Moga on second, Cisneros on first, and one out here in the top of the fourth. Swing and a miss, strike two. 0-2 now the count to a dejected Keith Foster. Davis gets the ball and tries to steer Moga back to second, but Moga wasn't even looking at him. He was taking his time, and there wasn't anyone to cover anyhow. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Strike three called on a pitch that I would kind of have second guesses about. But that is the 6th strikeout recorded by Davis. As Foster goes down looking.
Got him for 7 strikeouts now.
7 strikeouts, excuse me, Keith. The leadoff hitter, Pat Corrigan, is up. Oh, no, excuse me, we have Steve Parker batting for Corrigan, number 3. Count on Parker is 2-0 now, as ball 2 comes in outside.
Both these pitchers have had good control. Davis has walked one, and Moga, I don't think, has walked anybody yet.
Parker, another right-handed batter with a 2-0 count, 2 out, 2 on. He pops it up over the second baseman's head. Could be trouble. It falls in for a Texas League single. 1 runner's in. Moga's crossing the plate. Cisneros is on third base, and he's thinking about coming home, but he just draws the throw to home and waits. Here goes Parker to second, uncontested. Another run across for Tony's Tacos. So on a Texas League pinch single by Steve Parker, Moga scored, Cisneros takes third, and Parker is on second base. Give him a single and second on the throw. Heads up running by John Cisneros puts him on third base with 2 outs.
If I was the coach with 2 outs, I'd have sent him home, make him throw the ball.
Tim Orland now the batter, the center fielder. Strike one call. The throw to third base, too late.
Hit the base runner in the hand. Kept it from being a wild throw.
Tim Orland's 2 times at bat this game. The first time at bat he hit a single. The second time he struck out. So we'll see what happens. The count's 0-1 now on Orland. Got a chance to do some more good here for Tony's Tacos. He swings right past the second baseman into right field. Another run is in. Here comes the second run. 2 more runs for Tony's Tacos. Cisneros and Corrigan both score on a good single past the second baseman by Tim Orland. Orland now on first base. So things can happen with 2 outs here in the minor Little League. Action aplenty here. That makes the score 5-1 in favor of Tony's Tacos. 3 runs across here for Tony's Tacos in the top of the 4th on 4 hits.
Next batter for Tony's Tacos, number 1, the second baseman, Ron Miller.
Ron Miller now at bat, the second baseman. He reached second the first time at bat on a fielder's choice, and he grounded out to the pitcher his last time up. One of the few lefties in the game. Here's a pitch to Miller. Outside, ball 1. To recap the inning for you, Tony's Tacos has put 3 across on 4 hits. There's 2 outs. Tim Orland is on first base. He's the only runner. Foul back by Ron Miller, 1-1. Ron Miller is at bat. 1 man on, 2 out. Score 5-1 in favor of Tony's Tacos.
Tied the season record. They caught 4 cars on that foul ball.
Was mine one of them? Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's going to be a base hit, I think. Yes, it falls in front of the left fielder. It's going all the way to the fence. Orland running as hard as he can. He's going to score, uncontested. Miller winds up on second base with a double. So yet another run across for Tony's Tacos as they've opened the floodgates here in the bottom of the 4th inning to push across 4 more runs.